Good morning. Welcome to Sunday Journal. I'm Justin Saunders. I'm here today with Cape Adult Sports League founder Shaun Conway. Shaun, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem. Anytime. Well, Shaun, I just wanted to bring you in here to talk a little bit about the Sports League. It's you started this a little while ago, probably about a year or two ago. Tell us a little bit how everything came about.
Yeah, definitely. So I was living in Denver, Colorado, and I moved back to the Cape. And there's a group of us that always used to play volleyball down at Smugglers Beach in Yarmouth, and we just weren't getting the numbers to actually have enough people to play the game. So we decided to switch it up and figure there must be other people out there that have the same thing, that want to get active, want to have fun, want to get competitive. So we decided to kind of put it together, and I tried to do a dodgeball league to get it started, and it really didn't go that well. We didn't get enough people for the first one for it, and I realized it's kind of a different approach you have to take on Cape Cod. Where other places I've talked to people that run the leagues, they go out, they get one person, and they get all their friends, and they start a team. Where here, you're getting people one by two. So instead of just having an entire team to come together, we kind of gel people together one by one into a team, and then we form that into a league. So hopefully, as you put them all together, they form together as a team, and then do that over and over again until you have an entire league together for it. So it took a little bit to get going, so we failed at the dodgeball for it, decided to start again, do it for kickball, and then kickball started to take off. We took a different approach to marketing. Went through Facebook and Google AdWords and really got the word out a lot more through bars and flyers and stuff as well. And that's when it really started to take off, and now we're up to, we have 12 teams in the Dodgeball League right now and doing some other leagues as well.
Were you surprised when you were looking across the Cape and you noticed that there wasn't many sports options for young adults and at any age really across the Cape, and knowing that you had to go forward with creating a league for something like that?
I was surprised. When I was out in Denver, it's how I met a lot of people. When I first moved out there, I joined some of the leagues, some of the social leagues as far as kickball and ice hockey. And that's how I met my social network. So I thought it was something that the Cape needed as well. There were some leagues that were here, but it was more of kind of cliquey groups that kind of grew up together. They've been playing together for years. So I really wanted to start a more social league where everybody could get together. And sure, it's a lot about actually having fun and having the competition, but it's also about meeting new people, business networking, getting everything going through that as well.
What has been the feedback that you've received from the community and from those that have been involved with the Cape Adult Sports League?
That's what I'm trying to get right now from it as well. A lot of people have been participating, trying to get a lot of feedback from the people and getting their input as far as what their experience has been, because there's a lot of people out there that are going one by two joining in the league, so I want them to feel more comfortable with it. And with the people that have joined and not knowing anyone joining in, and now their social network starting to expand. But you also see it beyond the sports as well. You see people that are connecting through business networks, and you're selling things through, you have lawyers that are getting business, real estate people that are getting business, mechanics that are getting business. So as much as it is about the sports, it's also about the other aspects to it as well, and really connecting on more of a business side, social aspect for it. And other things we have on the Cape right now, you have the business networking, but it's all meeting people, and it's kind of business first, then getting to know them. Where if you join the castle, you end up more of getting to know the person, and then the business side comes on top of that. So it becomes a much larger picture than sports, too, and being able to do some business networking for it as well.
So, Shaun, talk to us a little bit about some of the sports that are offered with the Cape Adult Sports League, and also some of the activities that you're hoping to offer or that you have offered.
Yeah, definitely. What we started off with was we tried the dodgeball. That didn't go well for the first season for it. Then we went into kickball, and we started off with about 3 teams. That doubled to about 6 the second season, and then we went back into about 4 or 5 on the last one for it. And then this past summer, we ended up with about 8 teams for it. Other ones that we've done is we ended up doing dodgeball again the next year for it. We did 8 teams for 2 seasons, and now we've actually gone up to about 12 teams actually maxed out for it. What we're really hoping to do is we're kind of stuck in the Mid-Cape now as far as what we have for locations and gym space. The Dennis Recreation Department's been great as far as helping me grow for it and giving me the access and giving me the space and helping me to grow with it. But I'm trying to get into other towns, so the people in the Falmouth area, the people down farther out in New Orleans, we can really expand this into other areas of the Cape for it and make it a much larger production for it, where you could have the Dennis, the Mid-Cape area that has their 12 teams, but then you have the Falmouth area that has 12 teams, and then do an end-of-the-year tournament where you really compete, everybody's competing against each other, but also expanding their social networks to different areas of the Cape for it as well.
Talking about the Cape Adult Sports League as well, it's also sort of a social environment as well, as much as it is about sports and competitiveness. It's also very social as well. To talk a little bit about how social the Cape Adult Sports League is and how you've gone about making people, meet each other and having them come together.
No, of course. So that's definitely a lot. It goes back to as far as the recruiting process and getting the 1 to 2 together and then putting them together as a team. And then we do a lot of things after the sports activities where we go and we get together at a local bar. We go to Bunsey's a lot after the other ones for it. We've done the Red Nun, Red Face Jacks. There's a lot of places that have worked together and been sponsored to the leagues to help us grow for it as well. But it's also getting together away from the field and away from the courts. So the way that I see the success is, sure, we have a lot of teams that are playing together in it, but then away from the sports, there are people that are getting together and they're just friends and social circles that go beyond Castle for it. So those are the parts that I try and build for it. So right now we have the sports, and we're also trying to do more social aspects. We just had a Halloween party for it. We did a social outing that went out to Nantucket to visit the Cisco Brewery. Hoping to do a Bruins travel package this year for it as well, to get out there, and maybe a winter trip for it. So trying to get things that go beyond the sports, get people social, get people interacting, and then also hopefully it goes into the business side for it as well, so people can expand their local businesses for it.
How important do you think involving adults, young adults, middle-aged adults in sports across the Cape? How important do you think it is for the community of Cape Cod?
I think it's very important. Like, as they've signed with the CCYP, and you've seen it with the Shape the Cape, they've lost the 25 to 45-year-old age range. They've lost about 25% in over a decade. So the fact that like these people aren't really connected to the community, trying to get things going, get people active. And I think on the Cape, you get people that kind of stick, as adults even as general, like you kind of get into a rut where you know people that you grew up with, or people that you work with, or people that like, it's all the same circles that you're getting your social circle from. So when you have this common core interest of the sports, whether or not it's dodgeball or floor hockey or kickball, you get people that are active and like say, hey, I might want to try that. Then you have that common interest. So you get together, and then you end up with having different groups of people instead of just the same circles. You have the mechanics, you have the lawyers, you have everybody that have different backgrounds, different locations come together, and then their social network expands from there as well. So I've gotten a lot of good feedback. Like there's one person that's in the league that said, I lived here for 18 years, and in 1 year through Castle, I've met more people than I did the entire 18 years that I lived here.
And also talk a little bit about, I guess a couple did meet each other playing kickball.
Yeah, they absolutely
summer.
did, yeah. Yep, we were playing, it was the last season that we had last summer of kickball, and she was playing third base, and they had like she was an aggressive third baseman, and they ended up having like a couple words on there, but all in good fun, and then we ended up going out to Chapin's bar after for it. They ended up talking, meeting, and then about a month later, they ended up going on their first date, and they just got engaged about 2-3 weeks ago, maybe. Yeah.
Wow, so that just goes to show you just never know.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
And it shows the importance of being able to go out there as well and meet new people.
Yep. And it's probably people like that had different backgrounds that probably wouldn't have come together, but you had that common interest in the sports, and that brought them together in a certain environment, and then it sparked everything from there.
Perfect. Well, if you're just joining us, this is Sunday Journal. I'm Justin Saunders. I'm sitting here with Shaun Conway, founder of the Cape Adult Sports League. Shaun, let's dive a little bit into your past as well. So what got you into sports? What drives the man behind the Cape Adult Sports League?
Of course. So mine, basically growing up, it was all sports-oriented. I played pretty much every sport that you could have growing up for it. And beyond just the sports, it was also where I met all my friends from it. It was all the teammates, became friends, and then it goes from there. And when I did first move out to Denver, like I was saying before, like that's where I met majority of the people I met in Denver, and how I got my job and how I got everything was basically based off of just that common interest of the sports, going and joining hockey, and then from there met people from that. So I thought that was the same thing that I wanted to get going on the Cape for, to have that common interest and get people there and social and active. Like I was like a larger social circle, and I like just different backgrounds of people for it as well. So it's worked out. It's worked out so far so good as far as getting the right type of people in the league as well.
What's been your reaction to seeing how big the Cape Adult Sports League has grown in just a short amount of time?
It's been great. Like I love the fact that and the feedback that I'm getting from people on how good it has and how it's really improved their life as far as their social circles has been important to me. So I love hearing all that feedback, and I'd love to I'm trying to keep going. So as much as it's gone to this far and it's growing, and the people are like, wow, it's gotten so big, like I just have the bigger picture of what can we do from here? What can we do? How can we get into the Falmouth? How can we get to Orleans? How can we grow? And because I think the Cape really needs this. So I'm hoping that it helps expand things for everybody on the Cape.
Thinking about the bigger picture of the Cape Adult Sports League, but also kind of looking at the kind of narrower big picture in the coming months, what can people look forward to as far as what sports is going to be available at the Cape Adult Sports League for the winter season? And as I'm told, there's a lot of different kind of sports for each season as well, too.
Of course, yeah. So what we're looking for in the near future is to expand the floor hockey program for it, get dodgeball going, hopefully in different locations as well, so we can get it down. And the people, it's too far to travel from Falmouth to get to Dennis area. So if we can expand to different locations, have that going for it. We did a killer kickball last year. That was a success. We had 8 teams of that, and it was kind of a mix of dodgeball and kickball together. It's all about just getting out, causing a little bit of chaos, having some laughs, and having some fun. We're doing some indoor volleyball, which we're trying to expand going forward as well, to have more of an open league where everyone can kind of come and drop in and play, and then hopefully get it to a more competitive level for people as well. So we can step up the game for volleyball on the Cape.
For those people as well that are not so much the greatest athletes, but also, they want to be interested in trying. What would you tell those people that are kind of interested but are worried about the competition and worried about how competitive it could be?
I would say definitely try something out for it. We're a social sports league first. We want to make sure that everyone's just having a good time for it. There's fun competition that's on top of that, but we try and keep everything just for fun. Everyone's having it out. You're going to have some competition. There'll be some fun trash talk that goes with it, but it's all about just having a good time with everybody and really expanding on the social circle. So if you're ever interested, you can always just reach out. We can get you in to try it out for it. Come to one of our social events, meet the people. You'll see what type of people we're bringing in for it and be able to participate.
And also, you're trying out something new as well, too, trying to play flag football ahead of Pat's games every Sunday, for now, at least until the weather's a lot better.
Exactly, yeah. I think there's been a lot of people that have been interested in that, so we're going to give it a shot. We're going to get together at the field. We're going to try it out, see how people do for it, and then go run out some energy and then head over to a local bar and be able to watch a Pats game.
So looking back on everything on a bigger picture since you moved back here from Denver, looking at how the Cape Adult Sports League has grown, you've said you have a big picture and you're looking forward. Are you kind of a little bittersweet because it is such a big thing that's grown so big and so large in such a short amount of time?
No, I'm pretty excited at the fact that it's gone from what it was. Like, it was just a conception. We're sitting on the beach. There's probably 4 or 5 of us that were just sitting there talking after not being able to get a game of volleyball going. And we're like, hey, I think we might be able to give this a shot. So to see it going and seeing the feedback that I'm getting from people, and then seeing on Wednesday night when we have about 100 people in the dodgeball league for it. So seeing everyone gather and then also and blossom from there as far as the friendships and relationships and everything that goes from that.
And so you see everything that's going on throughout the Cape. You know that there's an aging population as well, too. Are you hoping in the future to maybe involve the aging population with the sports leagues?
Absolutely, yeah. I think what I'd like to do is other type of things that we're doing for sports. I think we could also expand that to other common interests. So we have a group of people that are interested in sports, but I think you could also spread that to maybe live music. You could spread that to other types of things that bring people together based on a common interest and then build their social circles and build their things out of that for it as well.
Now, let's talk a little bit about what people can do if they're interested, how they can get involved. Say, for instance, if I'm interested in one of these sports, how do I get involved? How do I contact you or contact for anybody for registration?
Yeah, definitely. You can get onto our website, which is sports.capecodchatter.com, or you can email me personally, which is sconway, CONWAY, @capecodchatter.com. And then we also have a phone number, 508-815-2033. You can just give me a call, and we'll be able to get everyone involved in whether or not it's the social aspects or some sport that's coming up for it. We want to get everyone out and meeting people and having a good time. So
and it's never too late as well, too, to sign up. Is that right?
Correct, yeah. As long as there's openings in the leagues for it, like dodgeball, we're almost close to being sold out for it. We could use a few more females if anyone's out there wants to give it a shot. But the other sports, like, we'll always try and fill people in or put them on a wait list for in case anything does happen. We can pop them right into the league at any point.
And as far as registration fees and registration as well itself, it's not very complex. It's not very there's not a lot of money involved as well, too. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. What I try and do is keep it to $5 per week. Keep it as cheap as possible for it. That's not going to be something that's going to be detrimental for people getting involved with the league. And that's where we look at sponsors to be able to kind of take on some of the responsibility for it. We try and have socials at different businesses around the Cape for it as well, so it returns for that. We're getting the right people. We're getting the demographic that we're losing on the Cape that people are trying to actually get to. So hopefully through this, you'll be able to our sponsor will be able to get in contact with the right demographic for the Cape as well.
In some of the sports, how long do they go for?
It's 10-week seasons. We usually do 8 weeks of regular season for it, and then we do 2-week playoffs for it. Every team makes the playoffs, and then we go from that, and then we try and take a week off or so, and then go into next season.
Anything else you'd like to add, Shaun?
No, I think everything's going great. I'd love to see as many people out there as possible, so definitely check out the website, and we can go from there.
There's also a very big social aspect of the Cape Adult Sports League. So like you've mentioned, there's been Halloween parties. You've had the Nantucket excursion as well, too. You're hoping to do the Bruins. The social aspect itself is still very important with the Cape Adult Sports League.
Absolutely, yeah. The social sport, we want to get as many events going for it as possible, and we want to expand that into maybe some day trips for things for it, just social gatherings at local establishments, just something to get people interactive. We're doing a cornhole is the next thing that I think we're going to be doing during the winter as well, where we're going to try and find some local bars and have some tournaments for it, and hopefully expand that throughout the Cape as well.
And what's the reaction that you've been getting from some of the businesses that have been sponsoring some of the events that the Cape Adult Sports League has run?
Yeah, it's been fantastic. We're end up getting on a night that they'd probably have 3 or 4 people in on a Wednesday night. We're bringing in, like, our league will come in with 90 people or so. They're throwing out some appetizers, they're throwing out some food, and entice people to come in there for it. And then they're getting a decent amount of business from it as well.
throw it out there again to our audience, how they can get registered for certain sports and how they can get involved.
Yep, definitely. So if you just go to the sports.capecodchatter.com, and then you go in there and there'll be league section for it, with all the upcoming leagues that we have going on for it. Or you can click on the live, and there'll be all the ones that are currently going for it. And you can click on that, and if you're interested in it, just shoot me an email from that page, and then we'll be able to get you in as a fill-in or for anything, or put you on the league going forward.
Perfect. Well, that's all we have for this segment of Sunday Journal. Thank you, Shaun, for coming in.
Thanks again.
I really appreciate it. And, thank you for coming in to talk about the Cape Adult Sports League with us. I wish you the absolute best of luck in the future. I know you're going to make a big impression with the Cape Cod community, and we know going forward that we wish you the best of luck.
All right. Thank you very much, Justin. I appreciate you having me.
For Sunday Journal, I'm Justin Saunders.